successive regimes have always trampled upon the rights of the people of Biafra, destroyed them, killed their younger men, assassinated many, deported many, excluded many, forceful deportation out of your own country. Time has come for the new generation in 2020, 2021, 2022, for people to sit down to find an everlasting solution to the conflict that is around that region. President Buhari promised us that he will finish in 100 days, the first term of office. Boko Haram will be dead. Today is finishing his second term. Boko Haram is even more vibrant than his own shoes. We have landed in very serious murky waters that the people of Nigeria don't know which direction they are going. The people of Nigeria, a big country with a big population, an economic hub of West Africa and Africa, with the biggest reserves of oil, still lingers in poverty. The poverty and the rich gaps in Nigeria are wider than the distance between, Mars and Earth. What can we do for our countries in Africa? How do we unite? For us, our role is to speak, to defend the voiceless, to chart our way forward, to find a solution. The only way solution can be got on the Biafran issues, the referendum, which Buhari and the government, president, have refused. But sincerely speaking, Nigeria needs rearrangement. If that rearrangement does not come today, tomorrow, or the other day, one day it is going to explode. People can be pushed, but they cannot be pushed beyond what Biafrans have been pushed. The suffering is too much. Pictures that I cannot show on this television. I call upon President Uhuru Kenyatta, as a member of the United Nations Security Council, to see that some of these problems should be resolved, and a resolution is passed of sitting down to understand the difficulties of the nations, especially in Nigeria, in Cameroon, because the problem of Biafra is also similar to the problem of Amazonia. The English-speaking people have no say in Cameroon. They are taken as second-class citizens. Biafrans are also taken as second-class citizens in a country called Nigeria. Their problems are compounded with a dictator who has lost direction, who doesn't know where the wind is blowing from, whether east of Sahara or west of Sahara. He's going north when the wind is going north, south. Therefore, it's blown, one leg going up, one leg going down. Look at the picture of Buhari standing 6.1 feet, being blown apart. Thank you. Back to Punchline Africa Television. Our show is Matsanga Africa Perspective. In Matsanga Africa Perspective, we look at what ails Africa, what kills Africa, what makes Africa be called a continent of savages. As we can see in Nigeria, that name cannot go away. Boko Haram is killing people, taking people. We have incorporated it in the system of the Nigerian army, brought them back without remorsefulness. They have not done any reconciliation. And they are then being hired to destroy and kill other people. We have invited, and we shall invite more people to talk about this. We shall invite any other person who wants to discuss the issue why Nigeria is collapsing. A state the center cannot hold anymore. With us in the studio and away taking questions from us is none other than the leader of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, His Excellency MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Welcome back, sir. One question.
Thank you very much.
One question after the break. We had to go for some water because it was becoming hot here. To hear that Boko Haram is part and a parcel of the government of Nigeria. It is something that has sunk my heart. I don't know. But I am very shocked. Let me come to this. There is a feeling that time has come. And I will keep on going back to this question. That the United Nations, the 5 permanent members, are part and a parcel of the problem. Now, because you can't exclude any, China is already in Nigeria also. Russia is in Nigeria. America has been there. Britain is there. France, through Total Oil, their presence is there. And a candid question comes. We touched it, then we went away. But it is coming back from the questions I've read during the break. Someone from South Africa is asking, surely, do these permanent members of the United Nations have eyes? Do they see? Because there are some clips here which I don't want to show you on this TV. They are very bad. As far as the killings of the youth in Southeast in Biafra, the killings, the slaughter, the torture by the army, by Nigerian army, how they tie youths on their Land Rovers and roll them around the villages. I get these pictures every day from Onitsha. These are not photoshopped. These are real things happening in Nigeria. So someone has asked, does the United Nations permanent 5 have eyes or not? What would you say to them now, today? As we find...
I believe that...
Yeah. Go on.
They have eyes, but for some reason they have decided not to see the evil happening to Biafra. And this is what I want Africans to actually digest. Africans must ask themselves this question. Why is there this global conspiracy against Biafra? I have an answer to that. It is because Biafra portends goodwill for the whole of Africa. And they understand this very clearly. We cannot be blaming the permanent 5 of the UN because we are the ones that created the enabling environment for them to come in, to exploit and to do whatever thing that they want to do. I was having a very serious discussion with somebody and I said to them, do you think that the world prefers this very exploitative relationship that they have with the very corrupt subsequent corrupt regimes that you have in Nigeria? The person said yes and I said no. The answer is no. USA is more concerned about trade with Japan and EU more than they will with Nigeria. Because in all these economies, people want where they can ship their goods and services to be purchased. They needed to have the spending power. That was the reason behind The USA helping Germany to stand on its feet after the Second World War. The reconstruction of Europe by the US government was driven by economic self-preservation. People would want an Africa that is viable, an Africa that will be like the Southeast Asia, where high goods and services can be traded with ease. Not this very almost primitive, exploitative relationship that they have in places like Nigeria. I don't blame China. I don't even blame Britain. I don't blame Halliburton, USA. I don't blame Ajib of Italy. I don't blame Shell of Netherlands. I don't blame any of these people. We are the ones that allowed them to come to exploit us. So we cannot blame them. See, in life, when you allow yourself to become a victim and you keep playing the victim card all the time, your mindset will go into a very vicious cycle of this victimhood, and you can never come out of it. And I'm saying to Black African people all over the world, if you believe in the equality of every man born, if you believe that all men were created equal by God, then anything white people can do, so also can you do it. If we cannot do what Europeans can do, what Americans can do, what South Americans can do, what Asians can do, we cannot lay any claim at all to human equality. It is our fault, not the fault of the permanent five. I go back to what I said before. It was these same people that gave oil and gas concessions to the United Kingdom. That was why they prosecuted the Biafran War for them. It wasn't a white man. These were black people. Gowon is a black man. It was Gowon that said no to restructuring. Obasanjo fought on the side of the colonial masters. That is the history of Africa. Joining your oppressors to defeat your own people. That's exactly what is playing out in Nigeria. Nothing more, nothing less. I cannot possibly apportion blame to anybody whatsoever. We should be blaming ourselves, because in Africa we tend to blame other people all the time, whereas the fault lies with us. The fault is ours. I remember one thing that the Chinese government said in 1999 when they took back Hong Kong. Chinese government said the 100 years of shame has come to an end. They never blamed anybody. They never blamed the British. They blamed themselves for losing Hong Kong in the first place to the British. And that is how real men should be able to appraise their condition. That we are poor, we are ravaged by poverty, disease, ignorance, and backwardness in Africa is our fault. Not the fault of the Europeans. If we decide to rise up tomorrow to say enough is enough, believe you me, we can transform Africa within only 2 years. After all, Paul Kagame is doing something in Kigali. Why can't we replicate it everywhere else? We must learn to put our people first. When a head of state gets up in the morning and buys a property in Europe, what do you expect? That means you don't love your people. When he gets up in the morning and decides to buy a private jet, that means he doesn't love his people. And these are clear facts. I cannot blame anybody for our plight. I blame ourselves for it. And that is why we are rising up. And I want to make this thing categorically clear so that the whole world can understand me. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what the greatest powers on this earth does in relation to Nigeria. Biafra is going to be free, or we all die in the process. I swear to God Almighty in heaven. Death is better than what we are passing through right now in that zoo called Nigeria. And we must be free. I said must. We are not begging anybody for it. Before the white man came, there was Biafra. Before Britain was created, Biafra existed for over 5,000 years before the formation of Britain. How did they decide where I should live? How did they decide which identity I should have? How can a white man come from Europe and decide to call me a Nigerian? What is the meaning of Nigeria? Nobody knows. We must go back to who we are. Be proud of who we are. I am a proud Biafran. I can never be a proud Nigerian because the name Nigeria has no meaning. No meaning whatsoever. Not even in Swahili, it has no meaning. How can a white man come and create a country for me in Africa and I be holding their flag running up and down saying this is my country? Who said so? Can I go to Europe and create a country in Europe for them? On what basis is our argument of human equality when Europeans can come to Africa and create countries? We cannot go to Europe to create countries. How can that be equality? Oh. That is why racist towards us. And that is why we must rise up now, not tomorrow, to support Biafra. Biafra is the beginning of the true emancipation of black people. Ask Julius Nyerere and he will tell you. Thank you.
Julius Nyerere, indeed. In 1967, The late Julius Nyerere was the first man with Dr. Milton Obote. That's why I, on this microphone, I still carry the flag of Dr. Milton Obote. They are the first countries in Africa to recognize Biafra. So in case people are asking why we have interest in Biafra, I follow both the leaders because I have lived in Tanzania and I'm a Ugandan. And I live in Kenya. I live in Europe. I'm a global citizen. I follow Pan-Africanism. Indeed, one other question before I bring this to your side, you address your people, and then we make it, call it a day. We have covered most of the things. Some of them you will bring them in your own address, which you will be given a chance to do so in 15 minutes also. There are so many ways, constitutional ways, of struggling for freedom. I believe you know where I'm going now.
What's this?
We have tried. For over 10 years, you have tried. You have done so well. You have awoken the people and said, wake up. We are being slashed one by one. Buhari has allowed people to buy daggers. You know, I saw my investigative journalist came across 100,000 daggers. How do you buy daggers for who? You import daggers. There are so many cows to slaughter in that place. I looked at it and said, these are daggers to come and kill other people. If the constitutional route of referendum fails, what other constitutional means would you use?
We insist on constitutionality.
Yes.
And we are going to have it. When Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King started to try to rearrange the social order in America, some people felt it was impossible to do, but eventually he succeeded. When Nelson Mandela, and I'm sure your good self, and all other anti-apartheid campaigners started, even with the support of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, this is something people don't know, that Ronald Reagan, a very powerful president of the US, and Margaret Thatcher, of course, a young lady, they all supported apartheid South Africa. They did. They were the ones that labeled ANC a terrorist group. Some people don't know this. It was only a few years ago that the name of Mandela was, should I say, erased from the logbook of terrorists in the United States of America. People don't know this. We are going to insist on what is ours and what is right. We've been occupying our land in perpetuity since the creation of man on this very earth. Somebody came and decided to change our identity, and we said no. The person said, okay, if I'm leaving, I'm going to hand you over to a more brutal caretaker, which are the Fulanis in this case. And that is why they're killing us and killing us till tomorrow. I want to draw your attention to something very, very critical. The order given by the Inspector General of Police of Nigeria to predominantly Fulani soldiers and Fulani police people to go to Biafra land to kill people. Had this announcement been made by any other police chief anywhere in the world, believe you me, they will be summoned to appear in Hague the next day. I want to read for your audience. I'm going to quote him verbatim what he said. The IG of police in Nigeria said, he's a Fulani man, mind you, don't mind the media shout, do the job I command you. If anyone accuses you of human rights violation, the reports will come to my table and you know what I will do. So take the battle to them wherever they are and kill them all. Kill Biafrans all. Don't wait for an order. What another order are you waiting for when Mr. President has ordered you to shoot anybody carrying AK-47 assault rifle? Quote me, even a dead policeman can be tried and dismissed from the force, and his family will not get his benefits. And this is from a police chief. Do you know the funniest thing, or should I say the most astonishing thing of all? The EU has a presence in Abuja, in Nigeria. The British High Commissioner is there, Katuna Line. The US Ambassador is there. They've not said anything at all. In other words, that leads us now to believe that exactly what happened between 66 and 1970 is about to happen again, which is kill as many Biafrans as possible. I want all Africans to understand this, that this very policy of genocide and slaughter is sanctioned by the US Ambassador in Nigeria, sanctioned by the UK of all people. Tomorrow they'll be singing songs of praise about human rights abuses, what China is doing, what is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Rohingya. But in Nigeria, they sanction the killing of Biafrans in broad daylight. What sort of justice is that, I ask? I want Africans to know, to ask themselves this question. Why is it that the USA and Britain wants this very tiny country to be squashed and killed? What is it that they have that is driving them so mad? Because the future progress of Africa lies in the land of Biafra. And they do not want black people to be developed. That is why they're doing what they're doing. Look at a whole, should I say, high commission, running all over the place, telling the country how to be run. The same things that from Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Azikiwe, all of them, Patrice Lumumba, Jomo Kenyatta fought. The same thing that Mandela fought. Black people are now tolerating it. The same thing we are fighting. We want independence, we want self-rule today, this very morning or afternoon or evening. One single woman, is crossing the whole of Nigeria, telling the Nigerian police who to kill, telling them who to shoot at. Now tell me how I can be in a country where the chief of police have targeted my people for extermination and the whole world is quiet. Tomorrow they'll start blaming us for one thing or the other. But we're not backing down because Biafra is coming, and I assure you no Jupiter can stop it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to ask my final question. What does the future look like for Biafra? I'm interested in that. What does the future? Because let me come first. I've struggled for Sudan. My television and my TV struggled for Gambia. You remember you were listening to me when Yaya Jammeh switched off all television stations in Gambia. I took my satellite quietly in Gambia. And Yaya, with all the army, could not know that I was broadcasting from his own place. I took my satellite phone and we did help to liberate Gambia. I'm proud that South Sudan today, I played a part to call Dr. Riek Machar. You know, at the time, the people, Your Excellency NNAMDI KANU, think that when you interview a man who has a different opinion from the government, you are giving them platform. Yes. We must hear when we talk, then violence will stop. If we keep quiet, then we shall perpetuate violence. So we should keep on talking. And I picked up a phone called Riek Machar in South Africa, where he had been put under house arrest. I shouted on this television to IGAD and the AU. I made noise to the British and the Commonwealth office. I said, how do you lock a person who should be negotiating peace in South Sudan? It took about 2 months, 3 months. Riek was set free, was told you can now start the negotiations. Everything I've touched on African continent in my 65 years, I've resolved. I resolved a big, huge conflict in Uganda. I think you already know. Between the
Yes,
Lord
of course,
Resistance Army and the President Museveni. People feared to go to the bush to look for this man, younger man called Konyi. Very young, still 40-something. I went. I said, you are killing people. People want you to talk. And we have come here. If you want to kill us, you can also kill us. I'm a determined man. I want you to paint for us a picture of a Biafra that does not look Savimbi way. You know where I'm coming from. You have read the Savimbi history.
I do.
We give him everything, then he turns up, he misuses, he lets us down. Sudan, South Sudan, look, we give them time. Riyak comes back, they fight again over power. I have been there for Cameroon. The Amazonian people, I'm bringing them again. Now they have several factions. You don't know whom to call. One calls you, don't call that one, don't call this one. That, you see, these are things that worry me in Africa. Paint for me the picture of a Biafra you want.
Yeah.
Whether today, tomorrow, whether you are there or not there, whether I'm there or not there, we want to see the picture of a Biafra. I love the people of Biafra myself. I love them with the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I love them. I don't care about Buhari, what he can say. Whether we meet at AU, I will point fingers at him. I will. It is coronavirus that has made us not meet now. But if AU was meeting in Nigeria, I would wrestle him. I don't care. Because this is something that is paining the people of Africa. And you can't wear long kanzu, this long clothes, and come there to impress us with your perfume when people are dying. Therefore, I want you to paint for me a picture of a Biafra. What type of Biafra do you want?
The type of Biafra I want is the Biafra of my ancestors. The land of the free, where people are allowed to pursue their daily endeavors without interference from any higher authority, where individual and collective autonomy of every component, ethnic, nationality within Biafra will be guaranteed, not just by law, but by virtue of our existence as dignified human beings. A Biafra that will be demilitarized, a Biafra that will be forward-looking, innovative, creative, run on clean, green energy, not reliant on gas or petrol. A Biafra where the police will not bear any arms. A Biafra where people can live and die and you will not see an armed soldier anywhere around you. A genuine republic, a land belonging to the people. We are going to cement this in the way we structure our society. A Biafra that will attract inward investments. A Biafra that will consider every necessity of life as being a human right. Not just in words, but in deed. A Biafra where there will be no strife nor rancor. A Biafra where all men and women will be equal, regardless of their religion, their sex, their creed, their orientation. A Biafra that will maintain open borders to every black soul on the face of this very earth. I do admit that geographically, in terms of landmass, we may not be that huge. The Biafra will operate, or should I say, run an open door policy. Every black person on the face of this earth will be an honorary citizen of Biafra, as long as you're not tainted by terrorism. That is the type of Biafra we want to run. A Biafra where Europeans will sit back and say, we never knew that such innovation and creativity will be possible. A Biafra that, should I say, the likes of Rwanda is a forerunner to, because today they are doing very well as well. That is the type of nation we are going to build. A truly democratic nation, not through the force of arms, but through dialogue and negotiations at all times. Nobody's going to lord it over anybody else. My ancestors never did. That is why we remain the only people not to conquer any other piece of territory, and nobody conquered us until the white man came and our temple fell. There is a land we're going to go back to. A Biafra of very many nations, a Biafra of autonomous nations within, governing themselves according to their own rules, where nobody will sit at the helm of power and dictate for others what to do. And we are going to accomplish it by the grace of God Almighty in heaven. Now, I know that constant references are being made to Southern Sudan. But I want to let people understand that even after the USA became free from British colonial rule, they also went through a very bitter civil war. And that did not stop them today from becoming preeminent in every sphere of human endeavor. Militarily, economically, socially, in every way. So I do believe very strongly that Southern Sudan will rise up to be strong once again. All these are teething problems. You also mentioned the issue of factionalism. It is when people put the interest of themselves and their controllers well and above that of those that they are serving. That is why I said, and I have said this repeatedly, I will never ever lead Biafra politically. Once Biafra is restored, my job is done. I want to be able to prove to our people what sacrifice means, so that those who will come after us will know how to treat our people with respect and with dignity. The thing about Africa is somebody gets into power and they want to stay there forever and ever, see there is something in it. The little work that I'm doing for Biafran people is very tiring, very, very stressful. Sometimes I don't even know how these presidents manage to sleep. Maybe they don't love their people that much. If you love your people, you cannot sleep at night. Any president in Africa who's not suffering from high blood pressure, you are not sick. That means you're doing something wrong. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. If you're concerned about your people, then I expect you to be very ill at all times. So that is the type of Biafra that we need. That's the type of Biafra we're going to have. A type of Biafra where the wealth, well-being of Sub Saharan Africa flows from. And I can assure you we are going to deliver it. We will deliver it. The Pan-Africanism that we talk about is going to start from Biafra, because mind you, I did not say that we're just going to have Biafra and then we shut up all the borders. No. What we want to do is to return to our organic political, cultural arrangement. Should Biafrans wake up the next day to say, oh, we want to be the same country with Oduduwa, all well and good. Should Biafrans wake up and say, oh, we want to expand into Amazonia, all well and good. As long as you take the consent of the people with you, this nonsense that the Europeans did in Africa, we want to reverse it. That God Almighty heaven may look down and be very proud to say that at last, I have people who are after my heart. And that's what we intend to do with Biafra. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Viewers, we seem to have covered most of the areas. It is the first time and it's not going to be the last time. Until we liberate, until we achieve the objectives, the aims, the vision of a better people on the African continent. His Excellency MAZI KANU will return at one time to give us his other views. By then messages, today the leaders in Africa watching for your information, I linked this to South African President Ramaphosa. I linked this to, of course, the president here. His handlers are watching. President Emerson Mnangagwa, Office of Foreign Affairs, and his President's Office, they are watching. Several SADC members and several African, Your Excellency, the Pan-African president in Kampala, President Yoweri Gakuta Museveni, he has added another name, which is very complicated. He's watching. He's interested in the Pan-African views. They are watching. They watched. But I want now to calm down and slow down and give you a chance. Give you another 5 to 6, 10 minutes. Enjoy them. Tell your people the message. Send it to them. Millions of them, millions and millions of them. As we talk in Onitsha, in Abra, in all those places, in all those states in Southeast, those who are suffering under the heavy, disguised Boko Haram terrorists who have invaded, they are embedded in Nigerian army, coming to kill people. Give them hope. Give them hope that salvation is on the way. Give them hope that tomorrow will be a better tomorrow. Give them hope that Africa is aware. Give them hope that the world is not doing nothing. What we have done today has enlightened so many people, so many countries that have Nigerian refugees who are fleeing because Nigeria is disintegrating. They are benefiting from this program. And it affects the security of the entire Africa. The floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on this program. I've been a very big fan of yours for very many years. And I have studied you extensively. Once again, I accept my most humblest respect to you and to the entire crew that put this thing together today. I want our people to understand one very thing. At the end of this very race, Biafra is going to emerge. It doesn't matter what anybody does. And to our African friends and brethren, I want them to also understand this. We talk about Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism cannot take off without Biafra, because we do need a genuinely free country in Africa to be able to drive that very critical and important initiative. We are seeking to build a country that God Almighty in heaven will be very proud of. And though the Janjaweed, the Fulani Caliphate, have sent their armies of conquest into our land, that this very day, we don't even know if those who are killing us are doing so on behalf of the Nigerian state or they're doing it on behalf of the Islamic Caliphate. Because as we well know, ISIS is now in Niger State. Very soon they'll be in Kogi, and then from Kogi they'll come into Anambra, and the real war will begin. Remember, very many years ago, I told you one very critical point for you to bear in mind at all times. So basically to guide you in all your deliberations and your thinking about Biafra. They are going to kill us. That is true. But that is not going to stop Biafra from coming. We are going to do all we can to defend our land and to defend our people. The whole world may appear to be against us, but we have done nothing wrong. That is the most frightening thing about this whole thing. If you ask the world, what did Biafra do wrong to you? Nobody can tell. Nobody can actually explain to you properly, because they want a world where very illiterate, nomadic set of people will be in charge of governance, where you have refineries and they're no longer working, where you produce oil and gas, but still import kerosene and fuel for your cars, where they want to impoverish the people. For those who may not be acquainted, or should I say familiar with the book that one of our very good friends wrote in years gone by, Walter Rodney. He was at Dar es Salaam University where he was assassinated by the CIA very many years ago. Walter Rodney wrote a very compelling book called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. What we are witnessing today is precisely what he was trying to explain to us. If you allow yourselves to be taken over by greed, by self-preservation and the trappings that you find in North America and in Europe and in Far East Asia, you will never ever develop your land. We are fighting for Biafra that we may, may restore our lost dignity. We are fighting for Biafra that black people all over the world may be set free at last. We are fighting for Biafra, not that we may have or commence the building of a large empire, not at all. We are asking for a Biafra where we can live and die with a semblance of dignity. Because right now people are dying, but there isn't any dignity. We must stand very tall and very strong, resist our enemies. That thing that we are thinking now that is impossible to accomplish very soon, you will say it. We must remain resilient. We must remain devoted. We must remain unflappable. We are not going to retreat, not one iota. If at the end of this race there is only one Biafran man and one Biafran woman left, may they continue to expand. They killed us, 5 million of us, after the war. After the war in 1970, we had lost 5 million people. But there we are still the largest ethnic bloc anywhere in the entire Nigeria. Because God is faithful. And at this very critical time, this very Elohim that we worship is not going to abandon us. I'm not saying we're going to fold our hands in prayer and fasting alone. No, we are going to do what we have to do to ensure the survival of our race. An attempt has been made in the past to exterminate us. The British supported the killing and the mass slaughter of Biafrans because of crude oil and gas. That Ojukwu told Harold Wilson, we cannot give to you. This resource belongs to the people, and that was the end of it. And he said, because of that, we're going to kill you. And sadly, Britain is still doing something till this very day. A supposedly civilized and advanced country, aiding and abating the slaughter of an indigenous population because of oil and gas. Therefore, I'm asking all of you to remain very resolute, to remain very strong. Do not allow yourself to become distracted. We have almost won. As Dr. Basanga said here a short while ago, we have awoken the consciousness of not just ethnic nationalities within Nigeria, but the entire African continent as a whole. We have won the debate. Now is the time for us to restore Biafra. And once that is done, believe you me, everybody will come to Biafra land to pay homage. Or should I say pilgrimage in this case. So we are winning. Many are dying, I know that to be true. A few days ago, we lost the mother of our very, very formidable barrister, Okorafo. But that's not going to stop us. Because I know that they will kill us, we will kill them in the end. Biafra will come. And Biafra is very, very close. I want our people to develop the mindset of the Afghans. Never say die. There were a group of people called the Mau Mau in Kenya. There were a group of people called the Kumeko in our land. These are the two people that forced the British to a standstill. Go and ask anywhere. And the remnants, of course, of Benin Kingdom. We must acknowledge them because they also fought very gallantly as well. We did not fight because we didn't like the Bible that the white man brought to us or the whiskey that accompanied it. We fought because we are free people. The time has come for us to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this earth. The time has come for Biafra to be reestablished. The time has come for Black Africa to be free. The time has come for every Black person, regardless of where you are in the world, to stand tall and to say, I am an African. Remain very strong, remain very resolute, and may Chukwukika be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Before you go, I would like to show you the newspapers in Kenya, in Nairobi. You are very far. You must be missing some of these papers. The Standard. Can we, production team? I'm on the ground now. The Standard newspaper in Kenya. The headline here is not only Biafra, where we still have. The only problem in Kenya, we don't have a crisis of dividing a nation. We have the Standard newspaper said, who failed Uhuru? The blame game. That's the headline. But one key thing that stands out in the newspapers, why we are struggling to put Africa in order, is His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta last night opened one of the biggest ports in Africa. You talked of Nigeria having oil, but it doesn't have even petrol at a petrol station. Jesus Christ. But President Uhuru Kenyatta, while yesterday opening the the port in Lamu, he said this port will connect the east to the west, east to the north, east to the south. That is the thing that we have here now in Africa, in East Africa. We want to thank President Uhuru Kenyatta again for putting infrastructure for people to get in a car and drive, take 10 days and arrive in Anambra. Is it Anambra? Yes.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's
yes. I have been sent so many messages from Dubai. People saying in Anambra, they are married there. Kenyans, Nigerians have married a lot of our people from East Africa. And I hope one day for us, my children, also one of them, my daughters, is married to an Igbo person from Onitsha.
Wonderful. We know how to take care of our wives.
We are united. Another newspaper says good things about Africa. The Lamu port roars to life with the president is good. You can see it.
Yes.
That's it. And another good thing in Africa, I'm looking for Africa stories. For your information, I am a Liverpool supporter for 43 years.
Like myself.
Or I don't know. My God. Thank you very much. It looks like we are all Liverpool here, but the others don't get worried. We are now struggling to liberate Africa. Don't forget your local team in Biafra, and don't forget.
Absolutely. Rangers Football Club is my first love, and Liverpool is the third chick.
My first team in Uganda is Villa Football Club. Villa. Then my team in Kenya is AFC Leopards. Then my team in the world is Barcelona.
Wonderful.
I die with the people of Cantona. I like Cantona. And you can now guess why I like Biafra.
Yes, of course.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable His Excellency NNAMDI KANU, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. I want to take this opportunity to thank you and to tell you that my television station is will be linked directly to every system of the Biafran people. Everywhere.
Thank you very much.
We shall, let's today make a formidable move. I am not here for money. I never asked for a penny from any Nigerian in order to broadcast. I started broadcasting with passion. I have already told you one of my daughters is married to a man from Onitsha. And this man comes to my house, tells me the story. You know, in London, he tells me the story. I have been a supporter of the people. That Obasanjo there, you see walking free. It was me demonstrating at the Nigerian embassy for Abacha to release him with Chief Abiola. I wanted them released together with Osuji, who is the president of ICC. We used to come there every Friday for Obasanjo to have freedom. But when Obasanjo came out, he looks for money. Anywhere you find Obasanjo, you know he's looking for money. I'm sorry to tell Nigerians, may God bless me for being truthful and honest. There's no conflict. There's no conflict Obasanjo has ever solved in Africa. Even when even when we went for Zimbabwe Troika in Melbourne House, Obasanjo sided with Australia to expel Zimbabwe from the Commonwealth. That's the man you have. But thank you very much, God. Jesus Christ, hold us. Don't tire. Keep on the struggle. Keep fighting. By Africa. With Africa. Long live Africa. Charles.
Together we shall accomplish. Together